Hello, welcome to this section. Yes, just last night, FIFA actually released their latest ranking with lots of shockers, and I'm sure that it has been a talking point around sporting communities. My name is Christian Oda. They call me Daddy Billy, and also have joining me this, from Abuja, Nigerian's capital, Geoffrey Ishaku. Geoffrey, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Christian. Thank you for having me. And yes, FIFA, after the Nation Cup, immediately they release the ranking where we get to know who is at the top and who is at the bottom. And yes, what the right time to actually give it out to our viewers out there. I want to welcome them as well, Christian, just as you have started. So let's actually, go on and actually give it to them as FIFA have, give it to us as well.
Oh yes, it was a significant boost for the Super Eagles of Nigeria after their world strong performance in the African Cup of Nations Morocco 2025. Yes, Super Eagles of Nigeria for at a long time now has raised over 10 countries as they now sit 26th in the world and third in Africa. Yes, on the African continent too. According to FIFA ranking released yesterday, Super Eagles of Nigeria moved up 12 points ahead to achieve this milestone. With Morocco, who also was the second runner-up in the just concluded African Cup of Nations, sitting as the continent best nation when it comes to football. So second, it's the Senegalese side, who also emerged as champion after that dramatic final over there in Morocco. So the 10 highest African ranking teams are Morocco, Senegal, Nigeria, Egypt, Cote d'Ivoire. You also have Cameroon, Tunisia. You have Democratic Republic of Congo, Mali, and South Africa as 10 of the highest ranked countries in Africa. Beautiful one, you said. Yes, lots of doubts are coming in when you talk about Morocco sitting at the top of the continent. Geoffrey, now let's quickly look at Nigeria climbing this ladder. 12 points gap. For the very first time in almost 15 years, Nigeria will be experiencing that huge jump, sitting third in Africa and 26th in the world. Remember that Nigeria before now was sitting, I think, about 34th in the world.
Yeah, exactly, Christian. Thank you so much for that. And yes, I know that it actually shows that we are improving for Nigeria to come all the way and amass 12 points and move up to third in Africa and also 26 in the whole wide world. I think it speaks well of our football. I actually have to congratulate Morocco also for being the number one in Africa and also Senegal for being number two. I know a lot of people will argue that yes, they are the champions, but Senegal are the champion. They should be at the top, just as Spain right now is the champion of Europe and also is topping right over there. But at the end of the day, you have to look at the consistency. I think this has to do with consistency. Morocco, I think before the Nation Cup, I was saying it earlier that they haven't lost a match in about 19 games or thereabout. If my statistics serve me right, I think yes, Morocco have gone on a long run of matches that they couldn't actually experience defeat. So for me, I think they deserve to be number one. Senegal also deserve to be topping it as number two, and also Nigeria. The Nation Cup, no doubt, actually gave us this this ranking. Our run in the Nation Cup is actually very impressive. Remember, in the regulation time also, we did not concede defeat. It only against Morocco that we couldn't, actually score a goal in the regulation time. But we are a free-flowing, scoring side that's, a match in the tournament. I think if not, Nigeria was the highest scorer when it comes to, team. So it actually helped us. It actually propelled us to the top. So I am very happy that Nigeria have now, a match, have moved a little bit higher in the world ranking also, and in Africa as well. So I think the problem, the Christian, I think we have to get our, homework right. We have to get the system right for us to return as the top, as the number one playing nation in the whole wide Africa and also in the whole wide world. We should move. Nigeria was fifth in the whole wide world back in 1994. So who said we cannot be fifth, we cannot be second, we cannot be first?
Morocco is currently eighth in the world, as Spain is actually sitting first in the global stage, with Argentina, France, England, respectively. Fifth position, where Nigeria occupied a long time ago, is now seated, occupied by the American country Brazil, while Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal actually sits sixth on the world, with Netherlands 7 and Morocco 8. Morocco is the only African country on the top world rank, top 10 world ranking. You have Belgium, who is seated at 9th, and Germany at 10. Shockingly, the United States of America also sits 15 ahead of Nigeria, who emerged third in continental, they just concluded continental engagement. Geoffrey.
Well, when it comes to world ranking, I think it's sometimes, although we criticize the ranking, but at this point, I think it's for me. I think this ranking is very, very okay for me. Why? Because Spain, we saw what they did in the European tournament, and they are the champions. And we saw a free flowing football, and Spain, actually shows that. This may not be the time of Xavi Hernandez and Iniesta, Raul Gonzalez and others, but this is the time of what's his name from the kid from Barcelona, I think Yamin Lamar and others, and they actually shows that yes, they can replicate what happened in 2008 and also what happened in 2012, where they actually emerged the champion of European football tournament. So right now, I think Spain deserve to be number one, and Brazil, they are the world champion, and Argentina, I beg your pardon, they are the world champions, so you don't take it away from them. And in friendly and qualifiers to the World Cup 2026, you saw what they did. They actually, qualified, I think, undefeated, if I'm right. And also, they thought, I think, that is England, in the number 3. I think they
number 3 is France. England is 4.
Yeah, France also. I think France have been up and doing, although they experienced some setback in the qualifiers, but at the end of the day they actually came back and were strong and actually qualified. And also England, remember, England has reminded us of the golden generation, the days of Lampard, Gerrard, Carrick and others. But it seems like there's a little bit slight difference, because this generation, this golden generation, are a generation that have an eye on on a glory, unlike the last generation that is of individuals and not of a team. Because you have Gerrard, you have Lampard, you have Michael Carrick, you have Rooney, you have all these people. These are very, very top players. And sometimes I feel like if you have top players, forming a team because these are egos, these are strong personalities. So forming a team become a little bit difficult. And this is for me is one of the reasons why the golden generation of then actually found it very, very difficult to go past the World Cup quarterfinal, and also when it comes to the Euros, they find it very difficult to go past the semi-final of the Euros. So for me, I think England deserve to be in the number 4th position. So at the end of the day, for me, the ranking, just like I said earlier, Christian, I have no problem with the ranking. It's quite okay, but I'm happy for Morocco to be in the number 8 position. It actually shows that yes, Africa is actually improving. So if an African country will be in the top 10, it actually shows that yes, we have actually made a statement. And I want to urge other African nations to actually do the right thing, because I saw an update from one journalist and a football analyst as well. I think Ivorian. He is saying that the Nation Cup in 2027, that about three African nations, East African nations, supposed to host. He said that these African nations, from what he has seen so far, they are not ready. This is not one nation, about three nations, and they don't seem to be ready. Morocco hosted the tournament, only Morocco. Cote d'Ivoire hosted the tournament, only Cote d'Ivoire. So why are we having it very difficult? Other African nations, why are we having it very difficult to be up there with, just in Africa, to have the level of facilities that African nation will have to actually host the tournament? So it's quite embarrassing. So Morocco have shown to us that they can host even the World Cup. So we have to borrow a lead from Morocco and build on it, and actually shows that yes, we can be up there with the best as well.
Oh yes, let's show that we can be up there with the best. Thank you so much, Geoffrey, for coming. Yes, this is going to be the size of the package for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also follow us for more update when it comes to talking sports. Yes, we'll be bringing you all that sports update by the day. My name is Christian, or they call me Daddy Billy, and we're saying so much thanks to you, and to have a wonderful time going.